and welcome to the Wicked edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. Now, this program is rated PG as it may upset children under the age of 10. So basically, if anything we are going to discuss tonight upsets you, Anyway, I will be speaking to the CEO of the board responsible for the regulation of what you are allowed to watch and the time you are allowed to watch it and probably how you're supposed to watch it in future. The Kenya Films Classification Board CEO Ezekiel Mutua is in the house and I'm hopeful we'll get to that interview without getting banned. In fact, let's test the waters. We are still on, so we can continue. Tonight, I would like to make sense of how comes our country is so rich in talent in regard to films and performing arts, yet Mr. Ibu is more popular than Ondie Kinyuka Quota. The main reason, as I have come to find out, is that most Kenyans don't support their own as much as they should. For example, you guys know Jackie Chan, you know Van Damme, but do you know this guy? Manajo Mse. Exactly, I knew it. This is Moshiri, or do I say Kenya's Bruce Lee, and here's a peek at some of his work. Now, this is raw talent. Kenya has the potential to produce blockbuster movies. When Van Damme does this, it's talent. But in Kenya, this is a traffic offense. Where am I driving with this? Where am I driving this? Kenya has talent that needs to be harnessed. We are grappling with unemployment and the creative industry can really help bridge this gap. We are sitting on a gold mine and all we need to do is put up structures to facilitate the tapping of this talent. You see, technically, this guy and Van Damme are on the same level in terms of capabilities. Too much talent, mpaka mtu anafanya 180 akingoja kushonewa viatu. The difference between this and the Hollywood blockbuster is that these people are fighting for real. If only we had a storyline for this. I mean, something to fight for in the movie. It's a good fight, but what are they fighting about? But then again, with too much talent and no structures to provide the needed knowledge in professional scripting, you can be forgiven for being petty. Kenya is rich in talent, and that's why we have successes like Lupita Nyong'o. We have Eddie Gathegi, who has starred in some of the biggest movies, including the longest running, my favorite series of 2013, The Blacklist. And it's important to note, this is not something we've just started the other day. Our very own founding father, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, was a movie star before he was president.
Not your gold I want. It's your skin for my drum. You put shame upon me. You shall die a slow death. But before you die, you shall see your woman die.
Give it up for that guy, Mazi. Give it up for that guy. That was the 1935 movie Sanders of the River, and that's the first Kenyan president himself in a movie many years before even he appeared on Money. His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta himself also seems to be following in our founding father's footsteps. He's a great actor. I'm sure you guys remember this.
Uhuru Kenyatta, my brother Uhuru, and help us take Kenya to the next place.
Actually, here's more proof that our president is even a better actor. Amid all the noise and the scandals that have been reported lately, he perfectly acts like nothing is going on. My point here is, the fact that we had a Kenyan star in a movie in as early as 1935 shows that our industry should be very advanced by now. In 1963, October, the government formed the Kenya Films Classification Board, a state corporation mandated to regulate the creation, broadcasting, possession, distribution, and exhibition of films in the country. But when you mention KFCB, what most Kenyans hear is...
There's a lot of morality on the internet. Have you considered banning the internet?
Yes, we are working with Google.
I think that you should let it burn.
This should not be the case at all.
I think we'll be lying to ourselves if you say there's no bad content in the media, that children are okay.
Yes, there's no denying that there's bad content in the media. And by bad content, I'm not sure if this is what he means.
Man, the man is killing us, man. Release the bomb, drop the bomb, man.
No, for this, yes, you can ban the internet. But I personally don't believe banning stuff amounts to regulation. No, in fact, that only escalates the situation. The banning of the movie 50 Shades of Grey was actually the main reason most of you watched the movie. In fact, of the millions that watched the movie, 70% watched out of curiosity. And the remaining 30 that watched from the feeling that whoever banned the movie had enjoyed it first, which also stands for curiosity. Everyone's like, what might that be yenye Ezekiel Mutua anataka kuona peke yake? If you don't want Kenyans to watch something, just ban what you want them to watch. Actually start by banning the news. At 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Kenyans will be glued to their screens. Experts call this reverse psychology. The Kenyan film industry is still struggling. And in my opinion, any player whose practice opens up an opportunity to create jobs should be encouraged. Most recently, the KFCB board members clashed with the creative industry players over the proposed Film and Stage Plays Act.
Kwa kauli moja, kila mmoja aliinuka kukubaliana na pendekezo hilo la kutupilia mbali mswada huo wa 2016 na kuanza upya mchakato wa kudhibiti shughuli za wasanii hawa na pia kulinda maslahi ya walio chini ya miaka 18 ambao wanatazama sana kazi yao.
And the Kenyans are entitled to their own opinions, to shout and say no to something they don't like. It's their democratic right.
Now, two things stand out very clearly from that bite. One, there's very clear misunderstanding between the board and the creative industry. And two, I have a democratic right to shout. On that note, shout out to you, big up yourself. Now, I am no lawyer, but to the best of my understanding, I would like to highlight some of the controversial clauses in the proposed bill. One, there's the issue of licensing of wedding videographers and the regulation of wedding videos.
All wedding videographers will henceforth be required to obtain a filming license from KFCB. All wedding programs for broadcast on television or any other medium of distribution will also be required to be submitted to the board for examination and rating for age appropriateness.
Now, the burning question here is, how does age appropriateness apply in a wedding video? In a wedding, everyone has to behave. There are children there. Kissing the bride is standard practice. Yes, it's not ideal for adverts, but in a wedding, seriously. There's permission from a man of God. I mean, what's the worst that can happen in a wedding? There's this. Guys really need to behave. I don't think wedding videographers have anything to answer for. It's the wedding dancers who should be regulated. Na harusi si yako. How do you twerk like this in someone's wedding? Please don't try this. Ukiitwa harusi kusimamia harusi, don't go doing this stuff. There's also the clause of having a police officer at the scene while shooting. The powers of the officer, of the policeman attached to you includes the use of force if need be. So technically, if the shoot does not go as planned, the police might take over the shooting. Na ujue ile shooting polisi anajua si ya kamera. Actually, I wonder how this will be implemented, considering how police officers hate cameras. The bottom line of this story, especially from the seeming bad blood between the KFCB and the creative industry, is that by working together, we may have a chance to bring out more Lupitas, Eddie Gadegis, and Dr. Kingoris out there. You see, currently, it's more expensive to shoot a movie in Kenya than to use the same cast to shoot a movie about Kenya outside the country. We will be talking to Ezekiel Mutua about this and more after the break. We also have a report by Kenyanjui, the reporter, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the Wicked edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. As I promised you, we have the Kenya Films Classification Board CEO, Ezekiel Mutua, in the house. You'll think that we'll be broadcasting live from Burnt Forest. Now, Ezekiel Mutua, ladies and gentlemen. welcome. Thank you for coming on the show, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Asante sana.
Good to have you.
Where do we start?
We start by banning Weekend Edition. Why not Holy Edition? Why do you like glorifying evil?
How is that glorifying evil?
Look, Weekend. You are negative.
No, that's
Please try and be positive. Change this title. This is the first thing I'm going to ban.
No. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. First.
Call it the Holy Edition, and I'll come. I'll bring you priests and other good people.
You do realize you are on the Wicked Edition.
No, guys. There's a scripture that says we are in the world, but we are not of the world. Did you hear that? Yeah, so I'm here, but I'm not.
First of all, let's start from the root.
Absolutely.
Me and my team went through your Facebook page.
Okay.
You are very active on social media.
Well,
and you let us know.
Clients are.
Yes. You'll tell us the difference between evil and good, because we noticed that you liked John Austin Facebook page, right?
Well, he's a preacher and sometimes very inspiring.
You also liked a few pages that talk about God. Then hapo chini kuna Vera Sidika na
At least I'm not liked that one, but it's good for your show. However,
one of the pages where the Facebook profile, the movie, your favorite movie of all time, it's only one. It's called Coming to America.
Oh, well.
You liked the movie?
In fact, my favorite is The Rugged Cross.
The Rugged Cross.
Yes.
But you didn't like Coming to America? Because Coming to America is on your page as one of your favorite movies, like, of all time. Ama, you liked it before you started?
I watched it after The Watershed.
Oh, after The Watershed. Kumbe unajua. Hebu waoneshe hiyo Watershed.
Look at these contestants for the Miss Black Awareness pageant. I feel good.
In a comedy fable of Coming to America.
That's actually listed as one of your favorite movies.
Who listed?
It's on your page, on your profile.
Kingori, get serious. But I have this movie and many others.
Yes.
Watching movies is not bad. We watch movies. You choose what you want. What we do, we rate movies to protect children from adult content.
That's
so there are some episodes in that movie that are not suitable for children, and I think all of us will agree. But it's a fantastic movie.
Okay, but you guys, you as a board have to watch every movie before you can rate it for people to watch.
Any movie that we have classified, we obviously watched.
How can I join the board?
Not necessarily myself.
How can I join the board so that I can
watch?
You
should. It's a fascinating job.
What's the process? I also want to watch the movies before they get banned.
Which is a good thing, you know. It is a good thing. That's a privilege you get when you are a moral police. Nevertheless, we don't actually, as a CEO, I don't classify movies.
Okay.
Even the board of directors do not.
Okay.
We have a special group of experts.
Who give you a list that what was your name?
They go through and they make a report, and they are guided by classification guidelines.
Okay. And you guys recently banned an advert because of kissing. What does that say about kissing the bride?
We didn't ban. I saw in the introduction you said that.
Yes.
What happened? We actually classified that advert, the Coca-Cola advert, Taste the Feeling. We rated it PG, and we actually approved it for.
But it's okay for children to drink.
But Kenyans actually appealed against our decision, and they say the kissing aspect was not good.
Actually, talking of social media, you've been accused of blocking people from your account and stuff.
All of us have a right to block.
Facebook has that banning, like you can ban something.
Yes, it's your right to enjoy that. If you don't like something, or you
enjoy blocking people.
There are people can be offensive. If you go to my Facebook page now, you see some people who have said some nasty things.
Okay.
There are people just are pain in the flesh, and you just don't want to deal with them. What you do is in the fresh, where I come from. So you ended that, eh?
Yes. Definitely.
And the reason there is
as a battle. Edit as a regulation measure?
No. See, you are cutting when you make a mistake. Yes. So why are you being unfair?
I've just asked.
So let me repeat two things you must delete. And if I see them, you'll be in trouble. One is a movie about the movie I said I like. It's not Ragged Cross. It's The Ragged Priest about Father Kaisa. And you know that movie, yeah?
Okay.
And the other one, it's not The Flesh. It is Fresh.
Okay. And now, what's your favorite Kenyan movie?
No. First of all, see, I told you. It's The Ragged Priest.
No, Kenyan movie.
Yeah, it's Kenyan. It's Kenyan. He doesn't know.
We'll edit that. Now.
Dr. Kingori is not doing fair. Let me teach you journalism. Okay. The tenets of journalism. Accuracy, fairness, objectivity. So please, let's observe those ones, first of all. Then, there are some misrepresentations that you did at the beginning.
Okay.
There is another tenet of journalism called right of reply. You said that we banned videographers and wedding shows. We didn't. The law says that any film that is meant for public exhibition or hire should be rated by the KFCB. But if you are taking for private consumption, for your wedding, for you to view it at home, that's okay. But if you are taking it to the TV for show, that is content and it needs to be classified.
And
that is the context.
Our point was, what is there to be regulated in a wedding? What's the worst that can happen in a wedding?
First of all, let's agree it's content. Under the programming code for free-to-air radio and TV programs,
yes,
all television programs must be rated by the board. That's a programming code.
Okay.
Okay? It says we shall rate. So if now you take your wedding and it ends up as a wedding show, then that is content. So just follow simple rules and bring it for classification.
So it
doesn't mean that we are going to ban. But there are also situations, even in a wedding, and you have shown some of them, that can actually go out of bounds and become adult. I was watching Bim Safari, for example. She was talking about Nguvu za Kiume. Is that a program I want to watch with my children? What will I tell them?
Okay. Which brings me to the question,
yes,
like how do you define watershed as that? How are sure watoto wamelala saa 4? Wewe unajua watoto wa siku hizi?
No, I know. But you see, your lawmakers, the people that Kenyans elect every 5 years,
okay,
in their wisdom or lack thereof, meant the law and said watershed period in Kenya is between 5 in the morning to 10 p.m. And this is the reason, that after 10, if your child is not asleep, that is the responsibility of the parent. And if you want to watch adult programs, or you are of that age or enjoy that kind of content, please wait until after 10. And the media must lead by example.
Thank you very much for coming on our show.
But you can't finish it like that.
Finish it.
Yeah.
Finish it for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure having you at Dr. Kingori's The Holy Show, The Holy Edition. From today on, I am going to regulate that title and I'm going to change it to The Holy Edition when there are holy people and decent people in this show.
Ezekiel Mutua, everybody.
Thank you.
That is the CEO of the Kenya Films Classification Board, Mr. Ezekiel Mutua. Now let's hear what Kinyanjui has to say.
Idara yetu ya upelelezi ingependa kuwapa pongezi waandamanaji walioshiriki katika maandamano dhidi ya ufisadi hivi majuzi, kwa kazi nzuri walioifanya ya kushirikiana na maafisa wa polisi na kuwasaidia kufanya kazi yao. Waandamanaji wale walifika wakiwa na jela yao, ishara ya kwamba wamejishika, thereby maafisa wa polisi wangepata nafasi ya kuwapa wananchi wengine huduma kama vile first aid ya kukosa adabu. Duru za guesswork zimetuarifu kuwa waandamanaji walionyesha cooperation ya hali ya juu, including running into tear gas, since evaporation of tear gas into the thin air amounts to wastage of public resources. This goes down the history books as one of the most well-coordinated protests, considering the fact that there were protesters who even offered to tear gas themselves, like this gentleman who was caught on camera acquiring a tear gas canister for private consumption, ama ukipenda tear gas takeaway. Representing the guesswork fraternity on the Wicked edition, it is the one and only KINYANJUIREPORTS.
Now that's it for the Wicked edition. See you next week. I am Dr. Kingori.